Hey everyone, it's me, Charlotte, like Charlotte's Web, and today I'm going to read you a story that I just wrote. It is called Aquamarine 2. And here are the table of contents. The first chapter is called Saying Goodbye to Everyone. The second chapter is called Flying to Australia. The third chapter is called Haley Starts School. The fourth chapter is called Aquamarine Visits Haley. The fifth chapter is called Haley's Wish. The sixth chapter is called Leonard and Bonnie's Wedding. Chapter 1 of Aquamarine 2. So Haley and Claire hug. This is a flashback. If you've seen the movie, you should know this scene. And then they started walking back to their homes. And then the next day, Grammy and Grandpa Brown and Claire and Leonard and Bonnie and Raymond put together a goodbye party for Jenny and Haley Rogers. Oh, whoa, everything is so beautiful, don't you think so, Hales? Asked Mrs. Rogers. And just before Haley was going to answer her mom, Jenny, aka Mrs. Rogers, Claire and Grammy Brown walked up, and then Mrs. Rogers and Grammy Brown started talking about the decorations. And Haley and Claire started walking off together. I wish Aqua could have been here, said Claire. I know, said Haley. And then Claire and Haley talking about the first time they met Aquamarine. And the two girls started laughing as they walked out of the restaurant where Raymond and Aqua first danced. Let me see. And then the two girls started remembering when the two of them first met each other. And then Claire says in a sad voice, says in a sad sounding voice, as if she was about to cry, and says, I'm going to miss you, Haley. And then Haley and Claire hug. And Haley said, oh, I know, I'm going to miss you too. The two girls hugged each other. And Raymond went after the two girls because they wandered away from the restaurant, and he went after them and said, people were wondering where you were. Yes, they were. The people were wondering where they were, like Mrs. Rogers and Grammy Brown. They were wondering where the two girls had went. And so Raymond said that he'd go find them. And he did. Are you guys okay? Asked Raymond. Oh yeah, we're fine, answered the two girls. And Raymond walks the girls back to the party. And as they were walking, Raymond says, I wish Aqua could be here. Yeah, so do we, answered the two girls. Just a second. They all walked off together and remembered when they had first met Aquamarine. And they all started laughing together. So everyone was getting their food and getting seated. And then Mrs. Rogers stands up from out of her seat to start telling everyone how much her and Haley really appreciate everyone putting together a goodbye party for them, and how much they've enjoyed living in Florida. And then talking about all the fun memories they've shared with everyone at the party. And even when Haley and Claire first met each other and became best friends. And then Haley's eyes started to tear up. And once Mrs. Rogers was done speaking, everyone went back to eating again. And then Bonnie stood up from out of her chair and told everyone that she had baked a goodbye cake for Haley and Jenny Rogers. And then she sat back down And then Raymond decided to talk about how just yesterday Haley and Claire dove into the water after Aquamarine and how brave they were. And how he too would miss the Rogers. And anyone else who wanted to stand up to say something did. And so when everyone had finished eating their lunch, everyone got themselves a piece of cake. It had white frosting in the middle. It had white frosting, and in the middle of it was a picture of Haley and Mrs. Rogers. And around the picture, in each corner, was blue frosting hibiscus flowers. And under their picture, it said, "Happy Trails, Haley and Jenny Rogers." And when the party was over, Claire and Haley hugged and said their last goodbyes. And Jenny, too, said her last goodbyes to everyone. And Raymond told Haley goodbye as well. So that's chapter 1, saying goodbye to everyone. Now for chapter 2, flying to Australia. So in the air the Rogers went, flying on their way to Australia. So Hales, are you excited? Asked Mrs. Rogers. And Haley said nothing. "Oh, Hales, you miss Claire, don't you?" asked Mrs. Rogers. "I'm sorry, sweetheart. I know it's hard to leave friends behind, but you know you can write to her, or maybe you could call her on the phone." And Haley said, "I guess so," with a sigh. And so after what felt like forever of traveling, they had finally arrived in Australia, and it was a sight to withhold. And then Haley started to feel alone and frightened and started to miss Claire and Aqua even more. So they decided, so they had finally gotten their car back because it was being delivered because they flew, And they drove their car to their new home, but were too tired to unpack, so they decided to just sit around and rest a while. And then after a while of resting, they went out for pizza. And then they went back home after a while and started some unpacking. And then they went to bed. And then the next day, Mrs. Rogers started her new job. And she was very excited. But before Mrs. Rogers started her new job, she had to get Haley enrolled into her new school. So the next day came, and Mrs. Rogers and Haley found a nice-looking school fairly close by to their new home. So Haley and her mom drove over to the school to check it out. So they did just that and got a school supply list of things for Haley. And they dropped by a Walmart store they saw to buy the stuff on Haley's list. And fortunately, they had everything she needed. And that's chapter 2. Here's page 2 of chapter 2. So then Mrs. Rogers brought Haley home, and Mrs. Rogers went to her new job interview. And while Haley was by herself at their new home, she decided to give Claire a call. "Hello?" answered a familiar voice. It was Claire. "Hey," answered Haley. "Haley," said Claire in a voice of excitement. "How are you? What's it like in Australia?" "It's fine, I guess," said Haley. "I wish you were here, though," said Haley. "So do I," said Claire. "So, what did you do today?" asked Claire. "My mom just enrolled me to start a new school." "Oh, what's it called?" Claire asked. Haley said, "It's called Australia High School." "Oh, cool," said Claire. "How's Ray?" asked Haley. He's fine, answered Claire. And what's Cecilia and Patty and Marjorie been up to? Asked Haley. Oh, Cecilia is just being Cecilia, and same thing with Patty and Marjorie, answered Claire. Oh, I see, said Haley. And both girls started laughing. Remember when Aqua sprayed them with water? Asked Haley. I sure do, said Claire, laughing. So many fun memories, said Haley. I know, said Claire. Claire, it's time. Oh, Claire, it's time for supper, said Grammy Brown, Haley's grandmother. Oh, Haley, my grandma says it's time for supper. I gotta go. We'll talk soon? Asked Claire. Yeah, said Haley. Bye, said Claire. Bye, said Haley. And I'll read you chapter 3, which is called Haley Starts School. And then I'll read you some more chapters another time. So then Haley started to do some more unpacking. She unpacked and unpacked and unpacked until she heard her mom come through the front door. And her mom was holding some fast food bags. So what did you do today while I was gone? Asked Mrs. Rogers. Well, I did some unpacking and I talked to Claire, said Haley. Oh, whoa, you finished your unpacking, said Mrs. Rogers. Yeah, pretty much, said Haley. How was your interview? Asked Haley. Well, I think it went good, answered Mrs. Rogers. Cool, said Haley. And how's Claire? Asked Mrs. Rogers. She's fine, answered Haley. Good, said Mrs. Rogers. And then Haley and her mom started eating their hamburgers and watched some TV, and then Haley went to bed while her mom finished up the unpacking, and then went to bed herself. The next morning it was a school day for Haley, so Mrs. Rogers got up and got Haley up, and they ate some cereal before they went on their way. So then they had finished eating. They both got in the car, and Mrs. Rogers dropped her daughter Haley off at school. Have a good day, Hales, said Mrs. Rogers. Thank you. You too, Mom, said Haley. And then off to her job interview she went. And to school Haley went. She had butterflies in her stomach. She was quite nervous. She started walking down a hallway filled with lockers, and she felt as if everyone was staring at her. And then she heard a voice say, "Hey, you're new here, aren't you?" "Yeah," replied Haley. "What grade are you in?" asked the girl. Oh, I didn't put a grade. Whoops. I'm just going to take a guess. 10th grade. I'm in 10th grade, answered Haley. Oh, then you're with me. My name is Sam, by the way, Sam said to Haley. Haley said, "Nice to meet you," said Sam. "Come with me, I'll show you to our room," said Sam. "Thanks," said Haley. In the meantime, back in Florida, where Claire lives, Claire is waiting on the beach. She thinks she sees something. She thinks she sees something in a wave of water moving towards her, and wonders to herself, "Could it be Aqua?" said Claire to herself. "Aqua," said Claire, you're here. You can use," she says, "you're here. You can use my towel to wrap yourself up in," said Claire to Aqua. And so Claire took Aqua to her and her grandparents' house and up to her room. "I'm so glad to see you," said Claire. "I'm glad to see you too," laughed Aqua. "So I cleared things up with my dad. It went faster than I thought. And so he let me come back. Come back here," smiled Aqua. "So where's Haley?" asked Aqua. "She moved to Australia." "Oh, I'll have to pay her a visit too," said Aqua. "So, Aqua, I took the clothes you got at that vintage store at the mall." "Oh, you did?" asked Aqua. "Yeah, they're in my closet. Let me see, let me get them," said Claire. "Here you go," said Claire, handing Aqua her clothes. "Thanks," said Aqua. "Oh, you can change in my bathroom. Let me show you." "Oh," said Aqua. And then Aqua changed into her blue skirt with her blue faded pattern tank style top. Back to Haley at her new school. It was lunchtime, and Haley and Sam sat together for lunch. "So, where are you from?" asked Sam. "I'm from Florida," answered Haley. "What about you?" asked Haley. "I'm from here," answered Sam. "So, what's your favorite color?" asked Sam. "Is it blue?" Sam asked. "How did you know?" asked Haley. "Oh, it's in your hair. Blue streaks," answered Sam. "Oh, yeah," laughed Haley. "What about you? What's your favorite color?" asked Haley. "I like green," answered Sam. And then Serena, one of the most popular girls in school, came up to Haley and Sam and said, "So, you're the new girl," she said in a snobby way. "Yeah," said Haley. "Like, where do you get your clothes? From the boys' section?" And one of the girls who accompanied her, whose name was Brittany, laughed. And then the popular girls walked away. "Hey, don't let them get to you," said Sam. "Thanks," said Haley. And then the bell rang, which meant it was time for school. Well, time for their next class to start. And their next class was math. "Our next class is math," exclaimed Sam. Haley sighed. "What's wrong? You don't like math?" "No, not really," answered Haley, as the two girls walked to their next class. As the two girls walked to their next class. So, then after Haley was finished with all her classes, which were just your usual school subjects like math, history, English, science, gym, literature, spelling, art, home economics. And so once class had ended, Haley and Sam would walk and talk together. "Oh, Haley, that's my mom. Gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye," said Sam. "Bye," said Haley. And then next to go home was Haley. "Hey, Mom," said Haley. "Hey, Hales, how was school?" asked Mrs. Rogers. "It was fine," answered Haley. "I made a new friend today," said Haley. "But I'm still going to stay connected with Claire," said Haley. "Well, I'm glad you made a new friend and still plan to keep in touch with Claire," said Mrs. Rogers. "What's your new friend's name?" asked Mrs. Rogers. "Her name's Sam," answered Haley. "I see," said Mrs. Rogers. "How do you feel about meatloaf tonight?" asked Mrs. Rogers. "Fine," answered Haley. So they went to the store to get some ground turkey and whatever else you need to make meatloaf. And then home they went. "I'm going to call Claire," said Haley after she set down some groceries on the counter. "Oh, no, you don't. Homework first. Call Claire after," said Mrs. Rogers. "Oh, man," said Haley, and she marched off to her room, angry, and she started her homework. And once she had finished, she called her best friend Claire, and they talked about Haley's first day of school. And Claire told Haley that Aqua was back in town. "She is?" asked Haley. "Yeah," answered Claire. "That's awesome," said Haley. "Yeah, I know, right?" said Claire. "Can I talk to her?" asked Haley. "Yeah, sure," said Claire. "Aqua?" said Claire. "Huh?" said Haley. Said Aqua. "Haley wants to talk to you," said Claire. "She does?" answered Haley. Answered Claire. "How are you?" asked Haley. "I'm great," said Claire. And so they talked about all the goings-ons. And then Haley's mom, Mrs. Rogers, called Haley for dinner. "Oh, I have to go." "You should come visit me in Australia," said Haley. "I will," said Aqua. And that is chapters 1, 2, and 3. And you'll have to wait till I read the next chapters. So put any likes or subscribes or comments you may have, and have a great day. I hope you like your video. I hope you enjoy watching my video. And once again, leave any posts or comments you may have, and likes and subscribes. And once again, this is Charlotte, like Charlotte's Web, and have a great day. Bye. Oh, one more thing. If you haven't seen the movie Aquamarine before, I recommend you do, because it'll help if you watch the movie before you watch my video. It'll help if you watch the movie Aquamarine first. Then you'll understand what's going on a little better. So yeah, great. Thanks. Bye.